to the Special Operations Group, Sergeant. I'll keep the introductions brief. This is Major Altorez of the 14th Light Infantry.
Pleasure to meet you, Sergeant. Some of the boys refer to me as Merlin. I've seen a lot of action. If you listen to my advice, you should be able to crush these metal frags to dust.
And this is Technician Sterner of the Experimental Weapons Lab.
The name's Rachel. I'm happy to get to work with you, Sergeant.
Let me start by saying that you do not have to write down everything we tell you. All important information will be transferred to your memory core on the ACE battle armor. You will have the opportunity to review it by bringing up your orders once you're in the mission area. With that said, let's run over your first mission profile. Sergeant, we wanted to give you a chance to practice using some of the weapons of the ACE battle armor, but the war has escalated to a point where the only practice you'll receive is on the training sim. Therefore, you are ordered to proceed to 1-5 Mark 1-6 in Alpha Sector. A squadron of HKs are already en route there. Their mission is to destroy the relay tower we have set up. You must not allow this to happen. Destroy any HKs in the area until your orders screen lets you know you've held the area long enough.
They call you Iron Wolf, huh? Well, we'll see if you live long enough to earn that name. My only advice is take along fusion grenades. Trust me, you'll need them.
Merlin is right, Iron Wolf. He's terminated targets we thought only a magician could get to. He's going to fill you in on the next part of your mission.
Sergeant, 2 days ago a recon patrol managed to get into a Skynet underground complex whose entrance is located on the southern edge of Alpha Sector. Most of their transmissions at this point became garbled. They did, however, manage to capture strategic information on Epsilon Sector. This information is vital to us planning any concerted offensive. Sadly, we lost communications with them as they were leaving the complex. The last known position of the team was 80 Mark 65 on level 2 of the sub-complex. We need you to get in there and recover the team. If they're all dead, get the Epsilon Sector telemetry and bring it back to the extraction point.
Skynet has set up a gun tower near the entrance to the complex. You have to destroy the gun tower to enter the lab. You may want to try some fusion grenades. They should be able to punch through.
A very important warning, Sergeant. Do not, under any circumstances, throw grenades while facing a wall or some other structure. As you can guess, the grenade will impact the wall in front of you and go off.
Once that gun tower is blown, the way should be clear to enter the complex. Be careful, it's a maze down there. Bring back that sector telemetry, Sergeant. It can make the difference between winning or losing this war.
Try and keep a cool head. There are numerous safe zones where you can make repairs. Usually they're tucked into alleys or dead ends. Underground, it should be safe to perform repairs near the elevator shafts. Use them if you have to. I had the ordnance staff give you an extra repack of ammo and a repair kit. They only work once, so use them sparingly. If you can get this telemetry, it means we can plan an assault into Epsilon Sector. Good luck, Sergeant.
It is vital that the relay tower in Alpha Sector is protected until we have a chance to download the information we have coming from our mobile command HQ in Delta Sector. Without this information, we won't be able to decode the telemetry you have to recover. It will be useless. Sergeant, you are dismissed. Mother Goose to Iron Wolf. Good evening, Lieutenant Colonel. I'm sorry I can't welcome you to Washington in person, but I'll do what I can to coordinate your missions from here in Los Angeles. Unfortunately, a crisis has occurred since you were first summoned to D.C. Our main communications and research base in Washington, Block 1 at Adams Morgan, is under siege. Major Altorres, who I trust you remember from our Skynet campaign, will give you the details.
Good to see you again, Iron Wolf. I only wish we had more facts to give. Approximately 17 minutes ago, 0120 hours, we received a report from Dr. Coulter, Chief Tactician at Block 1, that his watchdog system had, without warning, simply turned itself off. With the watchdog down, his perimeter defensive net, early warning systems, and security backups went instantly offline. Immediately, Captain Antioch, our DC liaison, sent a team of technicians from Theodore Roosevelt Island to assist Coulter's crew in diagnosing the problem and repairing the watchdog. 5 minutes later, Antioch received a distress call from the technicians transmitted from Adams Morgan. It was cut off. Dr. Coulter's message made it through. Block 1 had been overcome by enemy units. Our most secure depot in the district completely defeated less than 10 minutes after Coulter's initial message. Our first priority was to prevent the Terminators from accessing Block 1's databanks. The information there on experimental weapons alone would tip the scales back in their favor.
We have the means here at headquarters to remotely draw all the data from Block 1's holographic magneto-optic storage banks, HMOS for short, but something we found was distorting our line. A recon team discovered what this something was. The enemy units had set a Nemo 340 tower above ground over Block 1, capable of warping our transmissions, sucking the base's databanks dry and blasting anyone who tries to stop it into scraps with its plasma cannon. I don't have to tell you what a bad shock it is to find that even with Skynet offline, these tin monsters can figure out how to make something as sophisticated as the Nemo 340 tower.
Obviously, the first priority at Block 1 is to destroy the tower so we can get to the data in the computer system. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what the Terminators are going to do after the Nemo 340 is gone. They'll attempt to blow up the HMOS banks before we can draw all the files. Therefore, next, you should proceed to the databanks located inside the compound at coordinates 9er Mark 9er and fight off enemy units until Captain Antioch signals that the system is wiped and you may clear out.
I'm somewhat concerned that you can use only the 2 defensive Neurolinks you brought with you to Washington. It'll take a few more shipments to stock you up, but I'll get started on that right away. At least you'll be able to take advantage of the modifications in the perpetuity of the Neurolinks. As you know, once selected, they now work continually without needing to be switched on. I hope that will be enough edge for you. In case it isn't, there are safe zones outside the complex in dead ends and in the elevators that lead to Block 1.
There are dozens of elevators into Block 1, but by the time you get from TRI to Adams Morgan, I'll bet most of them will be booby-trapped with proximity mines. Your best bet is a little-known elevator at 47 Mark 48. The password to use is MI5007. That's Mike India 5007.
Lieutenant Colonel, you are immediately dismissed to Block 1 Operations Base in Adams Morgan. Good luck, Mother Goose out.